Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC. I'm your host Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're gonna see are the structures that we can have on the software. So let's go to the presentation. Now, oops, there we go. So basically the structure allows us to have one element that we can define inside that element different variable types. So imagine that we have, for example, this structure called as the motor that may have different variables types. For example, a motor can have the actual status, can have the actual velocity, the set command velocity that we want, the command for run, stop, emergency stop, whatever. We can have different things. So we can have different variables already defined somewhere else, or we can have a structure, and in that structure we have all the different variables and there to easily access to that information. So as soon as we have this structure, it's much easier for us to program or reuse the code in a simple way, just modifying, for example, the number of the structure. And if we go further, we can create a structure, and inside the structure we can define an array or a matrix of that structure. So we can have, for example, array of motor, type of this structure. We can simply change the index of that number. We can easily work and make the logic that we want. But basically the idea is, instead of having different variables already spread in our code in the GBLs, we can put everything together in a structure test, in a structure, so we can easily work. One thing that I don't mention, I don't know if it's in here or not, is that the structures are only defined for global variables in the GBL or in the local variable. So if you're going to use EPRON status, we cannot use the structure in there. So if you use the structure in your code, it's gonna be good to link the status or EPRON variables to these ones and using in the code to spread it in a different way, like an interface if you want. So in order to create a structure, simple, we just need to go to the programming tab first, right click on the project side, then add new definition. In the past we used enumeration for the noob in the previous video. Now we need to use the structure. Here in the structure we just need to define the name for our structure. It could be my structure in this case, just to show you, or it could be my motor. So you have additional field for description, and then just OK. As soon as you press OK, you should be able to see in the project overview the element my structure. Okay, you can see it has this element here, invert face. So now that you have this, you should be able to access to double click on over there. You should be able to see this table. And in the table, similar to what we have done, the local variables or the GBL variables, where we have the table, and then with these buttons over here, plus and minus, we should be able to add or subtract elements from this table. So inside this table, you can see that we have position, we have name, position, and type. So here, name is going to be the name inside the structure to be accessed, and then the other one is going to be the position, the location basically, and the other one is going to be the type of variable. So we can mix in one specific structure different variable types. I can have boolean, real, ints, double ints, whatever. And we also have the description in case we want to have further information about that. So now that we have defining the roles in this case, we can name it, we can change the position, and then if we click on one of those and select on the column type, this icon will appear. As soon as we type on over there, we should be able to see all the different variables that we have And if we click basic, it's the basics. You can see bold, byte, the int, the word int, all these simple ones. And then if we use user type, we should be able to see the structure, no, sorry, the enum, for example. So we should be able to see the enums or other enums or structure we have. Then we just press OK. And we also have the possibility to move this to other side, okay, just to play with the position and the array. Now, let's create a structure called ST motor or my motor or whatever you want. Add 6 row and use this naming, this syntax naming. Okay, so let's go back here. There we go. So we go this in steps. So right click, let's close everything so we can start fresh from this is from the previous one. So right click, let's minimize everything. There we go. Add, right click, add new definition, a structure. That's on the other side. So I'm gonna say ST motor. Okay, here we just need to add 6 row, 6, and here we just define CMD underscore enable, CMD run, CMD stop. I don't remember what I use here, just bear with me. I see F sheet underscore set point, I indication at top speed. Here I'm going to use indication faulty. These two are going to be integer and integer. Okay, here in type you have user types, and you can see they are enumerative also there, and also structure. So you can use structure inside structure, but I'm going to use int. So I have already created all this, and if you want, right click here, move down, move up. You can use the textual, and here description is going to be enable command. If you want, you should be able to see the enable command there, just to see basically the idea of having this part. So now we have already created the structure. So that doesn't mean anything unless we link a variable with this structure. So let's follow the presentation so I don't go ahead and spoil myself. So now that we have created the structure that I mentioned, that we need to link that to a variable in order to visualize everything. So I'm going to go to the one of the GBLs that I have over here. We can define a new variable and then assign the variable to an code to the structure I have already created. Okay, so we just need to define user type so you can see the ST motor, so before, and then this is going to be the final result. And this is how you can use it in your code. So I have created the ST motor 01 using the dot. We should be able to access to the information inside. Okay, this is in a structure test. This is in FBD, functional block diagram, and this is in ladder, how you can use it. So it's going to be probably much faster as I thought. So let's go here to the GBL that I have created. So one way would be to use ST motor 01. Here I can define the user type, ST motor here, you can see. And another way would be a little more interesting, as I mentioned before, array motor, for example. And here array motor, I can specify the ST motor again, but I can specify an array. So in my case, I'm going to have, I don't know, 9 motors, 0 to 8, I'm going to have an array of different motor information in one place. So if we go now to the main, let's use this STMotor01 dot, and you can see here I have all the complete information for what I want, and then I just use it in the code as a normal. Now we can also use the array of motors that I have created that have the same. So for example, I code number 4, the index or position 4 dot, and I have this one. Okay, and if I need to recreate the code or do something different, I just change the index. It's gonna be just one in one place. So this is the advantage of working with this part. Then if you're working with the function block, for example FBD, we just need to drag and then here make the modification dot and assign the new variable that we want. Okay, simple as that. So this part is very easy. Probably it's going to be good if we can implement that data, but the idea for you is to get familiar with the structure test, and you can have different variables in there, variables in the same structure. So the main idea here is to use the structures and array so you can easily work on creating the structures, also to easily share the information inside the logic or how to organize the data that you want. So it's very important that you know now how to use the structure and how to use arrays. Okay, so you can reuse the code much better. So this is it for the structure. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.